How's it going, listeners? I'm Link, and this is Lynk-On Media Podcast. So, She-Hulk, you guys saw the first 2 episodes of this amazing show, right?
Emphasis on the amazing.
Yeah, I know, right? Yeah. I watched something. I saw something.
You know what? I did not mind the beginning of the episode where she broke the fourth wall.
I think I mean that. Look, the show has much more. It has a lot of problems.
Wow, that took a lot. That took a lot out of you.
But anyways, but okay. Let's start. We'll start with AJ. AJ, what did you think about the show? And if it's negative, why do you hate women? Go.
What a setup! What a setup!
I'm dying.
And he starts with me, bro. How am I supposed to respond to that? Okay. I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry. Oh shit! I just laughed from.
I mean, I had to do it. Like Logz already said, like he liked like the first part of it, so I couldn't do him.
Damn.
I really had it in my mind too. I was like, oh, this is gonna be funny when I bring it up.
Wow. Well, okay, so let me start along the same line as Log said. Episode 2 actually had me a bit more intrigued, I would say.
Okay.
You start. What I did like was them showing the fallout from her actions, from Jen Walters' actions in the first episode. And that action being in the final scene, which was corny as shit. Let's not be under any misapprehensions. That courtroom scene. Obviously her hulking out to save the day. Yeah. There it is. So yeah, that final scene, and then obviously, so we get into the next episode, and we're seeing the follow from that, which is her putting her career in jeopardy. I won't lie to you, and I'm probably nitpicking, right? But when she got offered the job by the other competing firm, the first thing that came to my mind was, doesn't a lawyer sign a non-compete clause that would render her unable to work for a competing firm, a major firm, for like a year or something like that? How is she being offered a job like a day afterwards? And that part made no sense. It could just be me nitpicking, right? But
a little nitpicky.
But I'm just like, all right, you know what? They have to move along this storyline. Yeah, and
well, I mean, it's from the comics, so okay.
Yeah, but
that's exactly how it happened in the comics.
Yeah, I mean, I was relating it to real life, but at the same time, she's breaking the fourth wall. So clearly, nothing about this is real life. And I know I've heard that is from the comics. I never read the comic. I thought they tried to lean a little too much into everything and do a little too much in episode 1, and it just came across kind of like forced and corny. That's essentially it. I didn't feel like anything was actually being built. It was just trying to push a storyline, and maybe that's what they wanted, because they were showing her about to be a lawyer, and then she breaks the fourth wall to speak to us, and then she starts telling the entire story. So I just didn't like the way it was constructed. It just, like I said, it just felt kind of forced. And
fair enough.
Yeah, but I think episode 2, it still was not great, but at the same time, I was a little bit more intrigued, honestly. Yeah, because like I said, just watching the fallout, like her career spiraling, and then just showing like the real life, what would be the real life effects of gaining those superpowers, and how it can affect, or how it affected what she had been building for her entire life and stuff. I'm like, all right, cool. Let me see where this goes. I thought the family scene was really awkward and forced as well. And that so far, that has been the theme to me, where while there are pockets that I feel can be built on, it also feels like they are rushing and forcing certain things for me and just making it too
felt more like a comic relief.
The family scene? Yeah,
Yes.
and I'm like, how is that already asking about Hawkeye? You know, she's not an Avenger.
I was like, she just get there.
Yeah, exactly. Like, how she gonna know if Hawkeye does walk and pick up the arrows and things, dog? Like, come on, man. But I don't know.
And why is he asking her that? Shouldn't he ask Bruce?
Bruce?
Isn't he
Exactly.
related to Bruce? Like,
Like-
Bruce is in your family. He knows Hawkeye. Why don't you ask him?
And then even like the post-credit scene where she was just like doing all the Hulk things, like, you know, putting
That
on the
was,
TV.
that was
by
just
herself
fun.
and-
That was just for fun.
I know it was, but I know it was. I didn't dislike it, but it was just kind of like, all right, cool.
That's the
I thought
best
it
part
was
of the
some-
show. Like, honestly, like her doing like housework.
Yeah.
Wow.
Wow. I didn't see that. I didn't see that coming. I didn't see that coming.
Hold on a second.
Bro, you have some editing to do here, right?
Hold on a second.
Yeah.
What I meant
Damn.
was
You chauvinist
Her-
pig.
her helping out her father.
Do the heavy work.
Helping her father clean out like a garage or something like that because she is super strong is a good, like, it reminds me of what the Fantastic Four movies wanted to be,
Right.
where it was just, oh, let's just show some funny, humorous things that superheroes do on their off time. So yeah, that stuff I liked.
I do want to ask you all a question since y'all might know a bit, because I've never actually read the comic. So is it that close to the comic book in terms of her being able to switch it on and off like that? Because you remember the scene where
Yes.
her boss was going to talk to her and then he asked her to, you know, like just become Jen again, and she had to.
Yes.
Yeah. So it is that is how she actually normally operates.
Basically.
Okay.
Yeah, I think
She has more control of it over Bruce
yeah. She doesn't
because she doesn't have a split personality.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Yeah.
She doesn't have a split personality. She doesn't have like an alter ego. Like her She-Hulk persona. It's her, but
Just
it's
her.
in the She-Hulk body. Now, I am very fuzzy on this on the story. I don't know if she controlled it or if she has to is something that she has to achieve.
Yeah, that part I'm not exactly sure
Yeah,
on, but I know
I'm not
she
exact on it.
controls it very well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I realized that they were trying to push that narrative essentially.
Yeah, they changed.
That was the whole
couple-
essence of
They changed one of the things from the comics because remember he told her he wanted her to be Hulk in the office and in the courtroom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In the comics, he just wanted her to be the actual attorney while she was working. I think the Hulk part was just for the public.
Okay.
All right, Logz, just an overview. What is your feelings on the show? Just before we
Right.
get into
Okay.
the meat of it.
So the episode 1, I really, like I said before, episode 1, I'm not as displeased as Wayne, in the sense that I liked how it was. I don't know why. It's something about me that likes breaking the fourth wall.
Okay.
Right. I think it started back with God damn, what's his name? Back in the
Deadpool?
day when before Deadpool. Breaking the wall. Not Ferris Bueller either. No, there's somebody else that used to break the day. There's somebody else that used to break the fourth wall all the time. I just can't remember his name right now. And he used
Bruce
to do
Willis
it almost.
for Moonlighting?
No. He did it in almost all his movies.
Zach Morris? Oh, movie.
I was just that was going to be my next guess if it was Zach Morris.
You gotta be specific, dog.
I'm trying to remember his name. He was in The Invisible Man, I believe. Anyway, moving on. The old one. Moving along swiftly.
I don't know.
Yeah, I'll remember it soon enough. But yeah, there's something about breaking the fourth wall that keeps me intrigued. I like the way they did it in terms of setting up, even though they scrapped the whole episode, but that's another deeper talk. But yeah, they set it up, explaining how she got her, because I was like, episode started, I'm like, so what's happening here? Well, you were probably wondering how I became the Shield. I was like, yeah, how'd you know? Tell me more. Right. So that aspect of me, to me, it's like, you're speaking to the audience, telling them exactly what's happening. So it's keeping them informed for those that didn't know. Right. I like the fight between her and Hulk, like that petty, like a sibling cousin fight. That nothing's gonna happen, but it's fighting. It seemed real, but not real because there was no really real consequences because they're both Hulk, right? So that seemed good. The only thing I didn't like, not the only thing, there were two things I didn't like. The fact that she said that what was the exact wording? She told Bruce that she had it harder than him. Yeah. Hey. And lastly, the ending in the courtroom scene made no sense.
Oh shit.
In the first episode, it made no sense. They tried to cover it up in the second episode, but it still made no sense in terms of the fluidity of the first episode, of where it was going in the first episode.
Forced.
Yeah, it seemed like they just throw somebody in there so she could just use her powers in the courtroom. Yeah, and there was no reason for that.
Just like
she didn't break out from something. She just busted another one. I was like, oh, use your powers. What? Why?
Yeah, for the fantasy, just the same way they use a dragon as a torch, just for the fantasy.
Man, all right. Look at you.
Yeah. I bear in mind, I completely agree with you. I didn't. It was corny.
I didn't. So that was the only two things I didn't really particularly like.
Right.
But she said she had it harder than Bruce about controlling her anger and stuff. And I was like, yo, Bruce has a whole split personality. He's killed thousands of people. They used to the whole of America was manhunting Bruce down.
Yeah,
being the
army,
Hulk.
the American military was trying to kill Bruce. Bruce tried to kill himself, but he couldn't even do that. He spit the bullet out like
because the Hulk took over.
The problem with that scene is that it doesn't it shows a lack of understanding of the material that you are adapting.
Ooh.
And because did the writer just forget that Bruce had this crazy life where he wanted to kill himself and he was depressed and
he killed people?
And he had to live with the shit that he had to.
Do you know how many cities Hulk has smashed?
Right. His the love of his life. Well, both of the loves of his life.
Yeah.
He's not with them. He Liv Tyler from the first one, she's gone. And because her father's been hunting him like an animal. Yeah. And Black Widow's dead. So I mean, I'm sure the Hulk knows a thing or two about, being angry. So
he's always angry.
I mean, I would maybe okay. So my issue, I got two major issues with the show. It is the format of the show, how they wrote her character, and also how they wrote Hulk's character. Now, if it were up to me, I would have started the episode in the courtroom where Titania comes out and they have their little fight. That would have been the first fight. When they have that part where she does that stupid flying kick at She-Hulk, you freeze right there. He's like, man, this is pretty crazy. I'm like at my work and this shit just pops off. I guess you want to know what happened to me.
Okay, yeah, that works. That works a little bit actually.
Yes. Then we go into how she got the blood. I was in an accident. I got my blood in my veins, and I became a She-Hulk. And then Bruce tried to, that whole first episode could have been done in 5 minutes. We don't need an entire episode of that. The first episode is a waste of time because we don't know what the show is really about. We don't get into the plot until the second episode. We don't even know who Titania is yet. There's we have nothing in these 2 episodes. There's nothing for that character, and that is a major She-Hulk
we know who she is in episode 2.
We know she's an influencer, a super powered influencer. I don't know what the fuck that is, but that's not super
influencer.
That doesn't give me anything. You're not giving me anything there. So there's that. Fair. And why are we supposed to like this character of Jen?
I don't like her.
She kind of comes off as a sociopath. You remember in episode 2 where she's upset about, losing her job and all of that because she turned into a She-Hulk to protect people. She said that bench should have killed those people because at least I would have my job. She said that. Yes. That is your hero.
Yeah.
What the that is the hero of your show.
No, but you also have to remember that think about it. If it was you, right? You spent your whole life trying to be a lawyer, trying to be the best lawyer that you could be, right? And all of a sudden, you get superpowers. You don't want the fucking superpowers. You don't need the superpowers. But all of a sudden, you get superpowers. I don't want it. Take it away. But while you're doing the job that you love to do, that you wanted to do your whole life, your dream job that you love to do, a scenario happens where people are about to be killed. While doing that and saving the people because you have your newly found superpowers, you help the people, save them from your life. But because of that, it costs you your job because, well, it's a...
I would be upset, but I wouldn't say out loud.
But she was just thinking out loud. She's thinking out loud. There's difference. That was just her. If you realize, the whole conversation with Bruce was not to actually talk to Bruce. It was just to talk.
Okay.
Like, one of those. It's one of those. He was talking to Bruce about if she should.
I thought it was to her best friend. For some reason, I was thinking it was to her best friend.
Nah, she's
paralegal.
Yeah, no, she's talking to Bruce about whether she should take the job. She wasn't really calling Bruce to ask him his opinion. She was just talking. Yeah, so it's like she just wanted to air out what she was feeling. So like
airing of grievances.
Right. So I just thought that when she said, the bench should have killed, it was like maybe I should have done that, and then my life would have been normal again. It was just her thinking out loud. That's just how I thought.
But you know who thinks like that?
Sociopath?
People who don't care about other people. And what do you need to be a superhero? You need to actually have compassion because you need to save people. Remember when in Man of Steel, where Superman, he flies into the spaceship where Zod has all these pods of the babies that from the Codex. He basically has to make a choice. Do I choose the world that I live in now, or do I have General Zod with these pods and stuff to create the new race of Kryptonians, right? His decision is basically to destroy the ship while it's flying and then have the ship crash into buildings. Now that is
a good decision.
It's not really. It's how many people got killed just from that one action alone?
Couple thousand.
Exactly. It's and She-Hulk has.
But don't forget, he was still learning to be Superman.
Oh, why do people always use that excuse, man? He's terrible at his job. It's not a first date thing. He sucks. He's been saving people the whole movie. And then he remembers what his dad says. Maybe you should have let those children drown in the bus. Get the fuck out of here, man.
You're still learning.
Oh my God. Yeah. Learn while children are.
You don't make mistakes. You don't make mistakes. Link.
My mistakes don't end
cost people lives.
Thousands of people getting killed. And then I'm just like, I'll just make out Lois Lane, I guess.
With great power comes great responsibility.
Yeah. Now I understand. Okay. In terms of the character, I understand at some point, hopefully, that they're going to have to make this character maybe humble Maybe she sees the error of her ways. Maybe she sees like there is a greater purpose. Maybe she's a little bit nicer to Bruce because she's a fucking dick to Bruce for no reason. Like she's an absolute
it's a nice family dynamic.
She's are you that much of a dick to your cousin?
Yes.
Okay, well, Logz is a sociopath too. But anyways, no. But like, I just like during that scene where she's just laying out like her grievances to Bruce, it just shows that like look at what
she's self-absorbed
has been through. Absolutely,
she is.
She's absolutely. She is worse than Tony Stark. Like Iron Man won Tony Stark.
And with that in mind, that's why I think her character arc is going to be, as you said, Link, her eventually becoming a bit more humble and accepting her that role, and like understanding what goes along with it. So at this point, I don't have very much criticism of the character. It is just the storyline and the way this thing seems to be written so far. Because like you said, episode 1 seems to be that was like a throwaway episode to me. Most of it, and Logz, you said you like the fighting. I feel like
between her and Bruce. Between her and
Bruce. I know what you mean. And again, I feel like that was just something for the fans. Like I didn't actually enjoy it. It felt like it went on too long. It felt like it went for me. It felt like it went on too long. Yeah.
Well, the part with the especially the part where she was driving away with the van, that was unnecessary.
She ran over her cousin, right?
Yeah.
Like obviously it's not going to hurt him because he's the Hulk, but the fact
just the principle of it. Yeah.
Just the principle. That's flagrant.
The principality of shit.
Yeah, that's
correct.
That's absolute flagrant. But I also don't like how they wrote Bruce. I mean, Bruce, at the end of the day, Bruce is a scientist. And the fact that her cousin, the fact that his cousin is a Hulk, but she doesn't have the same hangups as he does, I think he would be more introspective about it. He would be more curious. He would see it as a breakthrough. He wouldn't be like, "Oh, I'm jealous." I don't think he would be jealous.
That's an interesting point.
That point, like he is a scientist.
Yeah,
he is a 50-year-old scientist. He's going to look at the situation in a scientific kind of way. He's not going to get his ego bruised. That's fucking bullshit. Why go that route? Well, we know why, because whatever.
I mean, he had to. I guess they were trying to show that, all right, this is how you're supposed to be the Hulk, but you're not that. They're trying to differentiate the fact that she is completely different to Bruce.
Yeah, which is fine. They could do that, but then the fact that she would go, "Oh, so does that mean I'm better than you?" Like, did we need that? Did we need that sort of petulant type of, I just, I don't think that.
Power.
I guess, I mean, because of who she is, we already know that she's a cousin, but they're trying to make it more like a sibling dynamic, to be very honest.
Yeah, but like siblings.
Like I'm not justifying. Right? Yeah, I'm not justifying it. That was just a little add-on to what was being said. Yeah. I'm not justifying it. I don't like the way she acts and treats him either. But like I said, I'm not coming. I don't want to be too harsh on her character because I'm expecting that character. It seems so blatantly obvious to me, and it needs to happen for me as well. Like if she goes through this entire season and is the same person at the end, I will be incandescent with rage.
That's nice. I like that one. I like that.
Oh, no problem.
But I completely agree with that. The reason why Tony Stark is such a great character is because he started off self-absorbed. That like even his suit that he creates is to keep him alive. And at the end of his story, he made a suit that would keep everybody else alive except him. So that is a hero. They need to respect that. I know they take pot shots at Tony Stark every once in a while, where in Falcon and the Winter Soldier, like apparently he's not paid. He can't get a loan.
Yeah, Sam
for
could
some reason.
Yeah.
How are you working for the government and be an Avenger and not be able to get a loan? None of that makes any sense.
The blimp. The blimp. They blame it on the blimp.
Well,
that's what they blamed it on.
I'm saying it has an element of real life into it.
It's like he's got a pigment issue. Like Sam Wilson is a bit of there's a pigment issue.
That's exactly what I'm saying.
Wow,
that's exactly what I'm saying.
So Tony Stark is a racist, right? Is it? Is that what what it is?
Look at the time his dad is from it.
Because that whole island getaway, Tony Stark built that for Bruce Banner.
Yes.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
But the Black Avengers can't get shit. Can't get along.
Who the Black Avengers?
Interesting.
One Avenger.
There's other Black Avengers. There's Black Panther is a honorary.
So Black Panther can't get a loan.
He gives the loans. He gives the loans.
He gives the loan. Yeah. How come they didn't ask Black Panther for like, hey, yo, T'Challa, just loan me, like, I need to buy this boat. Just loan me a couple mil. I'll give you a payback. I'm good for it. Okay, so let's talk jokes. Were there any jokes in there that you thought was funny?
I feel like there was one that I actually liked and I cannot remember it at this point. God darn it, the heck.
In episode 1? No,
I mean in the most recent one. I mean in 2.
I was just remembering episode 1. I guess apart from the I didn't even like the Captain America thing. It was
the that he's a virgin. I just thought that
that crap,
just the how the joke was set up. Like it was just so long-winded, and basically it felt like it was written by a writing student who's just trying to get into comedy. Like this is her first sort of script that you're trying to like, ooh, this is kind of funny. Captain America's virgin. Yeah, but how it's done, it's like the joke itself, like if like a skilled writer would have done the joke, it could have been funny. It could have been like a throwaway line or something like that.
Right.
But the fact that how it was presented, it was just it's forced. I'll say it's forced. It's doesn't go anywhere. It doesn't.
A lot of things are forced in this series.
Okay. Well, let's talk the characters. Okay, so let's start with her sidekicks, the paralegal and the toxic white rival lawyer guy.
Yeah.
The worst characters in the show.
Yeah, I don't disagree. They were the only other characters, outside of Bruce, that really got much airtime. So
it's like the worst characters. How many characters are there in the show?
Yeah, it really was like the four of them.
It was
her new boss,
Hulk.
Oh yeah,
The paralegal wasn't that bad.
Well, okay. My problem with the paralegal is that she's sort of you need to establish your character as smart and
she's dense,
capable.
she's dense.
And what is the cheapest way you can, the laziest way you can, reveal that about your character, about your main character? You have like a sidekick character say, "Oh, but you're so amazing, you're so great, this and that." Correct. Imagine how lame Rhodey would have been if Rhodey was like, "Oh, Tony Stark, you're so great, you're the best. Like, no decision you ever make is wrong."
Is the dynamic different though?
What do you mean?
As in, is she like Tony Stark? She's not as smart as Tony Stark.
No, but the thing is, we don't get to see her be smart. We don't get to see her do any lawyering at this point.
Okay.
Yeah, we don't. But in your pilot or in your first 2 episodes, you have to establish how good this character is. Like, you can't just show me like a diploma on the wall and be like, oh yeah, she's good, and then have like a sidekick say, you're so great, you're so this. You have to actually show why your character is as smart as she is. In Daredevil, they did that. Even in the Ben Affleck movie, like, you actually see him in court. You actually see how his character is, what he's up against, why he has to be Daredevil because the system is always against him. That whole thing. In that one scene, you get so much from that character, but in She-Hulk, they missed it. They missed an opportunity.
I think the next episode is going to show it.
Yeah, but that's
that's
3 episodes in. You missed your chance. You blew it.
To kind of piggyback off of your point, Link, I felt the same. Like, I kind of didn't even think about analyzing the assistant or whatever.
Yeah.
To that degree, because she just didn't seem that important to me. But the truth about it is, I didn't even get paralegal from her. I just get administrative assistant.
Same difference.
Nah, a paralegal is supposed to have more knowledge of the law. Like, she's supposed to be a little more knowledgeable and I would say I dare say a bit more mature.
But when I said same difference, I mean as that's how they have it acting as like an administrative assistant.
Oh yeah. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. That's what I got from how they have written her character so far. Like, she's supposed to be the assistant of a legal mind. She's supposed to have like a little background in law. She's supposed to be. She just seems like she just exists.
They did
mention it, but you know what I mean. What
it was mentioned.
Yeah, she's basically there to gas up the main character.
Yeah, gas. I said gas up. Yeah.
Yeah, we need a cheerleader. We need somebody to be like, this is why you're great. This is why everybody should think you're great.
Well,
and
we know you're great.
And with that, they should have just called her an admin assistant and not a paralegal.
Yeah.
And I just think it's so kind of funny how you always have to have when you're making like a feminist sort of character, you always have to have your toxic white male, your toxic
the over the top.
It's customary.
Yeah.
So I just thought it was a bit over the top. I mean, you could have done that so much subtler, so much like I remember. Did anybody see? Yeah, exactly. These aren't characters. These aren't characters. These are archetypes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And the shows that they are referencing from, like Ally McBeal or The Practice or Fleabag or anything like that, these shows have characters who actually have more than one dimension. But I just feel like because this is a comic book type of show, there's not enough care, or I don't know if the writers are just not good enough to have these characters be flesh and blood. You know what I mean?
It might be the former, because
I think it's a former.
Because I'm not gonna lie to you, I didn't even know She-Hulk's character broke the fourth wall until I was speaking with someone at my work, and he mentioned it, and he was like, well, that's how they do it in the comics and whatnot. I was like, oh, I didn't know that. So after hearing that, I'm kind of like, all right, well, if that is happening, well, clearly they're going more along that line. So I feel like certain things I will give allowances to, but there are still certain aspects that should be better, definitely. Like, I'm not gonna just allow a pass for every single thing, because certain things should still be better. But it just feels in that sense that they're not trying to make it up to a standard of reality. So hence the archetypes as opposed to like characters. And she is going to be the sole focus, and everyone else is just to exist in this world until we see her character arc, essentially.
Right. True. They're support, and I get that. But I just they're fucking flat as fuck, man. Like those characters just and the dialogue is just, I would say
dialogue is cringe.
Yeah, like the jokes, they're struggling so hard. Like it's not as bad as say like a CW show like Batwoman or something like that. But it feels like it's in the same vein where it has to sort of beat you over the head with what they're trying to say instead of like doing like something subtle, something like witty, do
you think it's purposefully done? Purposefully done? There we go.
What, being purposefully terrible?
Yes.
Wait, are you talking about this or back to CW? What are you talking about?
No. No, this.
This, okay.
Yeah, because no, if you think about it, like you could, like the jokes are not even half-assed; they're like quarter-assed. No, think about it. The jokes are written horribly. Like the writing for the jokes and the delivery of them are like, what's happening here? Like for instance, the famous sit down with the family.
Yeah,
like the Hawkeye shit, and then was her brother. I could have done that.
Oh, that was he was another cousin or some kind of crap like that.
Yeah, I could have done that. Like it was just like,
and then that's another archetype too.
They brought a bunch of archetypes together and they say,
that was
put them together and be like, yeah, that's what it was. Most of the jokes were horrible.
Hippie cousin.
Another issue I'm trying to wrap my mind around is that how the tone, like there's just certain scenarios that would happen that would not happen in not only in real life, but just how it happens in the MCU. Like that one scene in the bathroom where she just came from being in an accident, right? She's bleeding, she's dirty, she has no idea what happened to her because she hulked out, and then these girls come in.
Yeah.
Yo, I was like, what the fuck is that?
Yeah.
What was that? What was that?
That was
what do they do? What do they? Okay, at that point, if you see a girl in a bathroom and you're like, let's say if you're a girl and you see a girl in the bathroom, think you would? I don't know. Wouldn't you call the cops?
Yeah,
or something.
Take her to a hospital.
Something.
Yeah.
But no, they give her a makeover.
And the one thing that had me really confused there was which one of them was walking around with an extra pair of heels? Like, because she ended up with shoes.
Bro, they all do that.
Yeah, that's true. It's true. They all do that.
With heels, they walk around with flats. You mean someone really gave her a pair of heels?
Heels and flats. I don't want these heels anymore. You can just hold that.
Nah, that was a little too much. That was a little too much.
I ain't gonna lie. Me and the lady were watching it, and she was like, "Huh?" And the fact that she went like, "Huh," because she's like, she's not as anal as we are when it comes to the details. Yeah, right? She's just watching it for the love of it because it's a show. And she's like, "What? This doesn't even make any sense. Why are they making her over?"
You see, that's my thing. Over? That's my thing. Like, honestly, like I don't care if She-Hulk is stronger than the actual Hulk. If they have like a good reason for it, if they explain it, I'm fine with that. Whatever. I'm cool with that. But having her being bloody and then nobody does anything about it. Oh, we're just gonna make you over, and then they automatically think bloody, that
mash up shoes.
And then
you call the cops. That's what humans do.
Well, I mean, you ask if she's okay first. You ask her, do you need to call the cops? Are you okay? Do you need some help? They were none of those.
It just wasn't. And then she obviously goes outside to the macho man who feels that he's God. Yeah, one that feel that they're God's gift to women on earth, and that kind of it was.
Oh, you mean
the one that
the cat calling guys?
Yeah.
The
cat.
Okay, so that I will be fair to the showrunner. Like, yeah, I know girls get catcalled really badly.
Yes.
Like back home, you know, them guys be as soon as they see a hot girl walk down the street, they be like, "Hey, y'all, what are you doing, Nick? Y'all?"
Yes.
Get it.
Yes.
I get it.
Yes.
But
again, that just seemed forced to me.
It just like it just happened. All of these things are just happening at the same time, and it's like, wow.
Yeah, exactly. I guess the timing of it, the timing of it. The timing of it. Hence why I said forced. Like everything just happens in one. So she hulks out.
It was a show. It was a show specific thing. It was just a show.
Yeah, but
that's
exactly why I said it feels
later
forced.
on in the show.
But you know what it reminds me of?
That's exactly why I said it feels forced.
You know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of that okay, in the what was it, the Falcon and the Winter Soldier, where they're like doing missions and whatever, and there's a plot against the Flag Smashers, and then all of a sudden they have to make this detour to meet the Truth, who's the black guy who took the serum, the super soldier serum.
Oh,
and he's
a
disgruntled because they tortured him and put him in jail and all that.
Yeah.
So when they have that meeting and it didn't go well, they leave that house. And then when Sam was like, "Why didn't you tell me about this, Bucky, bitch?" He gets pulled over by the cops out of the sort of the blue to, like, you know, prove a point, you know, because that was like the hot button topic at the time. So I just felt like, well, we need to put this in there because it's now, it's topical. We gotta, and it just seems so out of place. It just seems like you just threw that in there.
No, I mean, at least it was better. It was better done in Miss Marvel.
Oh, which part in Miss Marvel?
I don't know, the entire show.
No,
I haven't seen that shit.
But it's I don't know. It's this. I don't know if superhero movies are the best, or superhero shows are the best outlet to be this serious about these certain things, because when you lay it on too thick, it makes it look
bad.
Yeah, it just makes it trivializes what you're trying to say.
Yeah.
No, I get that. I also just wanted to add, like, I completely forgot before, but I really do have a problem with her family dynamic, you know. Like that because I have noticed that scene really got to me. It was so over the top. I mean, okay, so in addition to all of the random and somewhat inappropriate questions for someone who is supposed to be going through a tough time, their daughter who's going through a tough time, the parents just seem like they are children themselves. I understand that there's this newfound wonder because, all right, well, yeah, your daughter's now a Hulk, but you would think that
but
just
Bruce
like
is a Hulk.
Yeah, right. But no, it's their daughter. But Link, just like how you mentioned that in Bruce's case, being a scientist, you would think that he would have a little bit more of a scientist intuition and want to explore like the difference between him and her and you know their Hulk personas, right?
Right. Because the best part about the first episode, is Hulk just, you know, putting her through tests and you know, being a little gleeful about it. So because he gets to torture his cousin, right, and he gets to you know, get science. So I'm okay with that. As you were saying.
No, I wasn't. Yeah, no, I was just saying. So in comparison to that, like, I feel like if she's going into a situation where, all right, so the entire world now knows she's going to her family, you would think there would be a little more compassion for her entire situation because they knew she was fired and stuff as well, and it just seemed like it was an entire circus. I mean, which is why I actually was like, okay, I feel like y'all kind of saved it by bringing in that part about her father pulling her away from the table to ask her, "Oh, so how are you really doing?" That's what it should have been.
That was a good part, actually.
It was.
I like
right.
that.
It was.
I do.
I did as well. Because but unless they're trying to show that there is a special bond between her and the dad, which is why even at the end in the post-credit scene, they had her doing stuff for the dad. Maybe that's what they were trying to build, which is why they did it that way. But that entire family scene, that dinner scene with the cousin and the mom, and even how the dad was before he pulled her away, that just irked me. It felt like too much.
They're excited that their daughter could be an Avenger.
And I mean, you're absolutely correct. But like I said, the parents were just acting like children. And then I felt like they saved it by her father saying, "Yeah, could you help me with this?" And then pulling, because that is something. And I actually appreciated the fact that it was her dad that did it, because you know how dads are with the little girls. So I felt like that was a bit more realistic as opposed to it being her mom. I could understand if it is that they're trying to build or show us that relationship between her and her dad. So I hope that is something they're going to build on, and that wasn't just like a flash in the pan sort of scene that was just written in just for the sake of it.
Okay.
Fair.
Yeah. I get that. I don't know. Like, I'm not really crazy about the show, but I think I like the family dynamic because I just like the idea of her life is a circus now because of the whole thing, and it doesn't show her in a light. It shows her in a more human sort of light. That's what this character really needs right now, is just how do we make her more not likable but human? You know what I mean? Like, at this point, I just find she's a bit too callous for me. She's a bit too cold. Not a bit too cold. She's very cold.
Yeah.
So there needs to be something, and I just don't see how. I mean, I'm very disappointed. I think what I need to admit is that because I am so disappointed with how the Marvel TV shows have gone, the fact that we just came out with, like, the first episode was just textbook Marvel filler. And it didn't show me who the villain is. It didn't show me what the plot was. It was just, oh, she's a bit better than the Hulk. And that's all I got from it. And I don't know. I need more than that. And what I will say about the second episode, I did like how they brought in Blonsky. Like, the premise of the show, I think out of all the Marvel shows, it has the best premise.
Okay.
Because WandaVision was basically about a woman who is torturing a whole town and keeping children locked up in their rooms. And in the end, she just goes off scot-free with a little tap on the wrist, and you don't know what she sacrificed, you know. So and then there's Falcon and the Winter Soldier, where the Falcon, or the Captain America now, he sides with the terrorists, and the flag smashers are just the worst villains ever. And then you have Hawkeye, which is not really about Hawkeye, it's about this other Hawkeye, and it's not. And then there's Loki, which is, it's not about that Loki, it's about this Loki. It's just, and I could go like hours on why I don't like Loki. Loki is so, like, how Loki just completely trivializes the entire Marvel universe up until this point.
Finished it, you know.
Okay, well, basically they take away, spoiler alert, they take away free will.
Okay.
There is no free will.
There is no free will. And then they take Loki, who is one of the premier bad guys of the MCU,
Anti-hero?
and they completely
turn him into
neutered
something.
him Like they completely neutered him. It didn't even make any sense because it was basically from a PowerPoint presentation of how his life turned out, and then he's all crying about it, and then
it made no sense.
And he doesn't even, like in the first Avengers, Loki takes out like a bunch of shield soldiers like nothing. Like he makes a mess out of them. He can hold a fight with Thor. He beat up Captain America. In Loki, he can't take on anyone. He is
Can't take on anyone in the TVA.
The female version of Loki fights better than he does.
Oh, by far. It's like he forgot how to fight.
See it. No, I actually want to see it.
You're going to see a lot of bullshit.
Listen, there's an episode that you don't need to watch. Episode 6, I think. Was it 6?
Which one? The boring one? I think that was 3.
The one where they were trapped on the
planet?
Yeah,
that's 3. I think it's 3.
3?
I believe so, yeah.
Okay.
Because that comes early. That comes really early. That's after that's after they meet what's her name? They meet Sylvie for the first time. Then she basically tells the audience, this show is not about Loki. This show is about me. She says that. That's her dialogue. This show is about me now.
She did say that.
She did say that. Well, not verbatim, but
yeah. I'm sure that was like episode 6. But anyway, you're gonna start an episode where they're on a planet together. You don't need to see it.
I'm a glutton for punishment.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, you're gonna wish you didn't say that.
I don't think you'll hate it as much as me.
Yeah.
Because I hate that.
And I don't hate it as much as.
And he doesn't. Yeah, Logz don't hate it as much as me, but Logz sees some flaws in it. I don't think She-Hulk is that bad. I don't think She-Hulk is that damaging.
No. The premise of it is
Marvel,
good, like you said. The premise of it is good, like you said.
Yeah, I think She-Hulk by far has the best premise because I've seen this show before. Birdman, Attorney at Law. It's a great show where a superhero defends in every episode like some supervillain or something.
Exactly.
And it's fantastic. It's a fantastic premise. It's just that the jokes aren't funny. Jokes aren't funny. The character is unlikable. The effects, are the effects bad? Like, I don't think they're great.
No, they're not bad. They're not bad. Do we overanalyze the effects because we know that it could be better?
I think that's what it is.
Could be.
I think because Marvel, but Marvel has had a steady decline in its effects for a long time.
They don't give the VFX people any time to work though.
And
they rush them most times.
Yeah, and they don't want to work for Marvel anymore.
Yeah.
There are people who will not work for Marvel. And there are companies that are blacklisted because they didn't deliver on time for Marvel. It's a whole situation that they have right now. So I'm thinking the fact that the special effects are as good as is a miracle, because I've seen Joss Whedon's Justice League. That is some bad CGI. Yeah. And they put that out.
CGI. And they put that shit out. Listen, so Joss Whedon's Justice League.
Yeah,
so although I mean, how can you do a She-Hulk today and it be perfect? I just don't.
No, but all right. So the CGI, how she turns into She-Hulk and turns back in is, I think it's fantastic.
Yeah, those are fine.
Yeah,
that's actually fine.
That's actually very good.
What did y'all think about
Wolverine?
The Hulk. Oh yeah, there was a Wolverine thing in there. It's good eye.
Thank you.
What did you think? There was one joke that I thought was actually funny, and that's when the Hulk was telling Jen, because Jen was basically saying she's going to take the job to defend Blonsky.
Yeah.
And she checked in on him. She's like, hey, I know he tried to kill you that one time. And then he's like, it's water under the bridge. I mean, I was a completely different person that time.
Yeah, yeah. That was.
That had me. That was a completely different.
That was
person.
actually. Yeah, that was actually.
I see what
Yeah.
you did there, Bruce.
Yeah.
I see what you did there.
And then she looks at the camera and she was like, ha. That's good.
That was good. That one was good.
I will give the show a lot of shit, but that was actually a pretty good. Yeah, I mean, I wish it was in a better show, but what are you gonna do?
Yeah.
I mean, like you said though, I do like the premise of the show and what they could build it to become. So I'm as bad as I thought episode 1 was. Like the very first thing I said was that episode 2 had me a lot more interested. Yeah. And I think now going forward, like it has piqued my interest a bit more. So I actually want to see if certain things develop. I'm not going to put expectations on it outside of like that one character arc. I think that needs to happen. Other than that, I'm willing to give it a chance because I think they can do so much with it. I just hope it doesn't, for their sake, that it doesn't end up another missed opportunity.
Yeah, like Moon Knight.
Yeah, pretty much.
Oh God.
Pretty much.
I like Moon Knight. That's the thing. I like Moon Knight. But they really
I didn't dislike it either, but yeah. Could have been more.
I'm sorry, what? Giants fighting in Egypt?
Oh my God. Did we talk about that?
We spoke about it.
Yeah.
I must have talked.
Easter egg.
So out of place.
As I speak about giants, did you see the one where they mention also, apart from Wolverine, the giant statue in the water?
Well, what was that?
In She-Hulk.
What? I didn't see it. What
I don't
was it?
recall that.
From the Eternals.
Oh, you mean Arsham? No, not Arsham,
know.
But the one that was coming out of the golden one, right?
Yes.
So they actually
they mentioned it.
Oh, finally. I kind of figure you got a Titan coming out of the ocean, fucking Earth, and then you don't even mention it.
Not a mention.
Like since Wong is the Sorcerer Supreme, shouldn't he be on top of this? I mean, the Sorcerer Supreme.
Well, don't forget Wong is also fighting Abomination at the same time. Okay,
I'm glad you brought that up. Let me. Why does he have time to be fighting with Abomination in like a fighting ring for what, extra money or something? When he has to do his fucking job. Okay, his subordinate, Dr. Strange, opened up a whole multiverse of issues when he did that Spider-Man spell, and then the whole thing with the Eternals with the Titan coming out of the Earth, and then you have like a kaiju fight in Egypt out of nowhere.
Kaiju fight.
Shouldn't like Wong be on top of some? I think
he knows. He knows something. He knows.
I don't think he's good at his job, yo.
Wong's. I don't know. I think we're gonna find out more as it goes along.
I don't have any high hopes. I think they're just gonna make Wong look stupid, more stupid than he is.
But we like Wong. Everyone likes Wong.
I like Wong too, but he's making really stupid decisions. Okay, Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness really was taxing for me as a Wong fan. Okay. Like, oh, you're gonna tell this witch who's hell-bent on killing everyone that there is a second book of the damned? Why would you do that? Why not lie to her? What is wrong with you, Wong? She's gonna kill everyone for children that don't exist.
I mean, they exist, but not in your dude.
Stop trying to co-sign this shit, Logz. Stop it. Okay, look. Let me see them Marvel pay stubs, okay? Let me see. I know you be getting them checks.
Logz on the payroll.
Yeah, right.
He on the payroll.
On Marvel's payroll. And never.
Oh man, if they put me, man, they put me on the payroll tomorrow, man. I'll support the hell. Yeah, Ironheart. I really want to see that. Let's get that Ironheart, okay?
Oh Oh yeah, speaking of Iron, that's another series that I start. I don't even want to discuss it. I'm just as I was mentioning series that I had started watching and could not finish because they were terrible. Iron Fist is another one. I don't need to get into. I don't need to speak about that.
Yeah. Well, the first season was terrible. The second season is actually a bit better. I was watching it, and I was kind of watching it while I was watching She-Hulk, and I'm kind of like, man, I miss those.
How are you
Netflix
watching when you
Marvel
were
shows,
watching
man.
CO?
I was watching it in between
So you didn't
because
see
I'm
before?
trying to. No, I didn't see the second season because I'm rewatching the seasons that I missed. I'm watching those because I didn't see Daredevil season 3, which I heard was the best one. I didn't see the third season for Jessica Jones, which I
Didn't
love.
need to see it.
Um,
Saw Luke Cage.
I like Luke Cage.
Didn't
Wasn't
need
there
to see it.
wasn't there a mass band in Luke Cage? Yeah. There was a mass band. There was there was a place where Luke Cage had to fight someone, and there's like carnival costumes on the walls.
There
I'm
was.
trying to remember.
I think there was
cannot even
Bushmaster or somebody, one of the bag. I can't.
Oh yeah. It was Bushmaster. Yeah.
Well, there you go. That's something. That's something for the culture. And that's the thing. Like
For the culture.
People complain that the people who hate She-Hulk are sort of sexist and stuff, but I don't really see that same hate for like Jessica Jones or Agent Carter or well, I guess that's the only female stuff that they have, but I mean, maybe they don't like She-Hulk because She-Hulk is not good.
I don't like Captain Marvel.
Well, there you go. It's because you hate women, or you just don't like the movie.
I think it's poorly written.
Well, shit, man. Why can't it just be because it's not good? Why does it have to be because we're sexist? I don't get it.
Because
I mean, I'm a feminist.
Well, look at you.
Well,
progressive.
good for you, man. It's so funny how like the writers of the show are sort of saying that the criticisms of the CGI is because our culture's belief in the ownership of women's bodies or something. What are y'all views on that?
What?
Yeah, this is a quote. She actually said this.
No, she didn't.
Yeah, she did.
I have no comment.
I think
tomfoolery.
I think this is what these representatives from these corporations do in the media. Cannot say in the media. They say stuff like this to divert attention away from the fact that they are producing and putting out shit. It's the same thing that happened. Exactly. So now it becomes a whole sensationalism kind of thing. And yeah, well, women want to watch it because everybody crying it down. So let's join in unison, and then you get all sorts of other viewership because people just trying to tear it down. But the reality is that they're producing shit. This is the exact same thing that just happened with Reva's character in that god awful series. Fucking piece of trash. Her character was Logz. Obi-Wan is one of the worst series I've ever seen. It's one of the worst series I have ever laid my eyes on. I've watched quite a few. You don't need to. Trust me.
It's definitely a poor Star Wars product. It's
and it's the same thing. Like Reva's character was not very well written. The character came under criticism. Mind you, some people did take it overboard. I'm not even going to deny that, right? But then at the same time, then the narrative switches now to it being like people being sexist or like not wanting the black, not forget the black part, the female, just the strong female lead, just not wanting that character and finding fault with that. No, we're finding fault with how the character was written. Character was written badly. That's it. The character is written badly. Her story is written badly. The rest of the story is written badly. It's just bad.
And if that character was like a man or white or
a child, I don't care if the character was a tiger cub.
People would still criticize it.
Bro, exactly.
So,
But these companies try to take attention away from that by creating all these narratives. That's what it is.
and she's not really the worst thing about the show. She's not. I think Sun Kang's character is a lot worse. I think the makeup on all of those characters aren't good.
Yeah.
I think they're written badly. I think the Inquisitor, the lead Inquisitor character, like the fact that he gets stabbed in the stomach and then came back at the end because revenge made him live longer or some bullshit that he said. It was a line that he says that because of his hate-filled revenge, it made him live longer or something like that. I think he was being metaphoric, but it's just a bad line and a bad show.
I can't even get into it. No, all I am telling you is that was one of the worst series I've ever seen. That was the Bad Boys for Life of series.
I can't wait for Andor, man.
Let's see how that goes. I'm still going to watch it because I want us to be able to come back here and do this again. So I'm still going.
Yeah.
Still gonna watch it.
I hope it's bad just so that we can have like a really funny sort of back and forth on it. But it actually looks a lot better. Like I said it in my previous podcast, it makes Obi-Wan look like it was shot in a basement because they actually shot it outside. They shot, the worlds feel real. It doesn't feel like it's shot in front of a LCD screen or something like that. It's
gotcha.
And the fact that just infuriates me because Obi-Wan is like one of the key characters of Star Wars and they just didn't care.
You know what? I'm done. I'm not going to say anything because I still haven't gotten over that though. So I will refrain from, going down that rabbit hole again. But my thoughts on that are very publicly known at this point.
Right. And I found it very fishy that she would say that about female that she would bring up that angle from the criticisms, because I don't know, I remember things past 20 years ago, and I remember that the old Hulk movie, the Eric Bana Hulk movie, got a lot of criticism for its CGI, and that is a male character. And back then it's fine. Afterwards it was a little bit rubbery, it was a bit too green, it is what it is, but it still got criticism. So why are you making it seem like it's a sexist thing?
Yeah.
And from what I've seen, the body of She-Hulk is fine.
Absolutely.
It's fine. It's just her dead eyes that is the problem, because it's very hard to do CGI eyes. It's very hard. And
I didn't know that.
Yeah, and to make the facial tics work and all of that, it's an uncanny valley thing. That's why the eyes of the Avatar people are just so big. They have the Disney eyes because it's harder to make it realistic, because you just it's just like this weird sort of effect that it gives.
Right.
So, but no, it's because men don't like women, and sexist and misogyny and all that.
And all the other jazz.
They're bringing Daredevil in. What are y'all views on that?
So I didn't know that. So this is just my reaction from learning this, like at this moment, right?
Right.
I'm just hoping that the manner in which they bring him in is not forced, because there is a legitimate way to actually do this. Like there is it can actually fit and make sense to bring him into this storyline, to bring him into this world. Well, he's in the world, but you know what I mean. To have him as a part of her world.
Yeah,
it can be written in well. So I hope it's that they do it like that, and it just doesn't seem as forced as everything else, because as we've already said, all of the other characters are just here as even Bruce, as you mentioned, he just wasn't the same. It's like everything is geared towards her, like a fishbone. Everything leads back to her character her impending character arc. So I hope in the case of bringing in Daredevil, like there will be a bit of a greater attempt to artfully incorporate him into this storyline, and probably not just have him as a side piece as well. Okay. Yeah, so I like the fact, I like that. Then I like the fact that he will be involved in it. I just hope it's done well, and that he's written in well, one, and two, that he himself as a character is given a bit more depth.
How much more depth do you need?
No, well, no, I just mean, I'm not saying it has, like, he has to have an entire episode based on him. I just mean, I hope they don't just like scratch the surface level and just have him there as a cameo, and then.
Well, if you play it back, you make it sound nice and majestic and shit. Like, he's gonna be there for maybe all the episodes. What I have a feeling is he might be there for maybe like an episode or two, just passing through as a lawyer.
Yeah, I get that.
Coming through as a lawyer with some clientele or something that they're gonna both have to work on, or they might be working against each other on, or something like that. But I don't see like a major arc for him, because the show is obviously called She-Hulk. Or he may be there to help her during those 2 episodes or 3 or whatever, however long. He may be there to help her get some character development, maybe.
Right. So that's what I'm saying. That's kind of what I mean. So in terms of, all right, in the She-Hulk, you have to include the Hulk. He has to be in there, right?
Well,
it's
not
gone. Like,
and he's there, and he's gone.
Right. Good. So if you're
he just jumped in a spaceship and he was like, "I'm out, bitches."
Yeah, I got some other stuff to handle. All right, cool, whatever. But he had to be included, cool. But the fact that you are bringing Daredevil into this, I'm just saying, I hope it is not like just a surface level, just for the sake of appeasing fans, just showing this character and not actually doing anything with him. Essentially, I'm not trying to forecast or predict what I think he should be doing. I'm just saying I hope it's not some sort of like flimsy, like facade kind of thing, and he's just there just for appearance's sake, just to appease fans, just to try to placate us and make us happy. Oh my God, look, it's Daredevil. We miss Daredevil so much. Nah, like I hope he actually plays some part in it then.
Wait, you mean like how they did Mr. Fantastic and Patrick Stewart in
Stop this.
Doctor
Stop
Strange.
it now. Stop this.
Where it's like, hey,
Stop
I'm
it.
here. And then just the next scene later,
yeah,
fucking turn Mr. Fantastic into fucking blue spaghetti.
Yeah, pretty much that.
And how many times is Professor X going to be killed by murderous, overpowered brunettes or redheads? Like, how many times?
Wow.
I didn't see that one coming.
Endless.
I did not see that one coming.
Like, this is the 3rd time we're seeing him die on screen.
He has a thing for the ladies, man.
What, death?
Mind
but
penetration.
yeah, that's
shit.
Like, okay, so you have they have a Daredevil show coming up. I'm worried about it because I loved the Netflix Daredevil. I thought it was the right, appropriate. Yeah, it was thoughtful. They try to go deeper into it. They try to make it like there is psychological depth in that show, and a show that's so flimsy and flat and one-dimensional as She-Hulk. It just having that character in here. I mean, like he was funny in No Way Home. Like I thought the scene that he was in was great. If it's like that, I would be happy because I think Charlie Cox is a great actor. I think that's a great character. I just don't want them to be like demeaning to the character or do something that character won't do, because he is a devout Christian. He's there is things about that character that are that character, and if they missed the memo and just F the character up, I don't what am I supposed to do with that? I can't. I'm not gonna like it.
All of that factors into my thinking as well. That's what I mean. I hope they do justice to the character, and he actually has a major, because this is not someone that they have to bring in. He doesn't have to be here. So if you're going to bring him in, I hope it is with some sort of reverence to the character. I hope he's not like a little child, like fascinated with her the same way that her parents were.
I mean, yeah, they could do like a light, funnier version of him. Like he could crack a joke. He could do something a little bit. He doesn't have to be brooding all the time. But at the same time, can these writers pull it off? I don't have the faith in them. Like these new crop of writers, and it's not just like it's all of these writers, the writers of what's that movie called again? That show, Moon Knight. How they kind of dropped the ball on that. How they kind of dropped the ball with WandaVision. All these shows, for them to just take a character that's been in a good show and water him down or what, it'll just be sad. It'll make me sad.
Yeah, understood. I completely agree.
Okay, so this show has gone quite long enough. I'm getting texts from my wife saying we got to wrap. Damn, it's been pretty long. Sorry guys for keeping you this long.
That's fine. When we get started talking, goes on for a long time.
Yeah. So I would say what are we giving for She-Hulk? Like I give it the first episode is a 2, the second episode is a 5. So that's where I am with that.
So it's a 3.5.
Yeah.
I was gonna give it a 4.
I was thinking 4 too.
Yeah.
I was thinking 4.
Yeah. It's better than Doctor Strange and the multiverse of shit and Thor loving stupid. And it doesn't kill my soul.
Loving stupid?
Yeah. He really did say that. He really did say that.
Okay.
I think Eternals might be a little bit. No, I don't know. I may have to think on that. But
know.
Anyways,
yeah,
that is a wrap for today. Where can they find you? You guys have anything to plug before we wrap out?
Follow me on Instagram, Demigod Chronicles.
And hit your boy up on the gram as well, Armand.Jerome.
All right, cool. Thanks a lot.
Armand.
And that is Lynk-On Media, and we're out.